Hello, and we're back for a brand new week of Black, White, and Red All Over. We're going to read, review, and recommend some books to you. So give us just a few minutes. We'll have some great books for you to take home on your way from the comic shop. Ooh, let me get this one. What else?
Close to 25 years for this one.
Oh, yeah. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
And I'm Ryan Seymour, King of Comic Town here in Columbus, Ohio, and this is a huge book week.
Kind of crazy, man. Like, what's going on? Like, we just throwing out books all over the place?
It was a Wednesday?
It's more than a Wednesday. It's like the Wednesday. Mm-hmm. It's so many, some really good books. Some wild things, some new returns, things I wasn't like, wait, what? Yeah, that's back? Crazy. And some wild things. So, okay. We're starting off with our good reads you should read. These are books that we highly recommend that if you have some extra cash, these are something you might want to invest in. So where do you want to start? We have two that are the same, one that's different.
Yeah. Let's do the Gen X special. Like much like Black Parade is to the millennial. Welcome to the Jungle and Battle Chasers is to the Gen Xer.
You're not wrong. Oh my God. Battle Chasers number 10. Okay. When I say this is a book many years in the making, what did you say? How many did you say?
20-ish. Like it's a lot because it was like from that wave of cliffhanger, which was Battle Chasers, Danger Girl, the vampire one,
Crimson, by Humberto Ramos. Mm-hmm. What was that? Like, that's like 97, 98 is when it started.
Something like that, Because
maybe 99, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeesh.
Oh, I need a kidney transplant. I'm so old.
Okay, so. Here's the thing. Okay, so it was created by Joe Madureira, and this time Joe is in the writer's chair, and Lullaby, I hope I'm saying that right, Ludo Lullaby, is doing the art, and Ludo's style is very similar to Joe Mad's, but not Joe Mad's, which I think is a very cool point. The storytelling definitely has the same vibe as the original series. However, and we were talking about this off air, and I think this is a good point to make. When this series first came out,
it was so new, it was radically different. Radical. There was nothing
like it at all, right? And so in the 20 plus years, oh God, that does hurt to say. In the 20 plus years since it first debuted, anime is more prevalent, manga reading is way more prevalent, and D&D is more part of pop culture. So the things that made it so stand out at the time, we've kind of caught up. And I think we really were talking about how it really takes place the most with one of the most provocative characters, Red Monica. And again,
adjusted for time,
right? But does that do something to the character and the portrayal therein? Like,
that's a good question.
Somehow it lessens the character. For those that don't know, okay, look her up. You will see Red Monica is proportioned in a way that, number one,
is not humanly possible.
Not
this is
realistic
a universe
at all.
Where physics don't work the same.
No. And body parts made out of very buoyant material. But at the same time, we're also in a time and place and space where people can cosplay as that and have. And so the majestic sort of, ooh, look at that. Like,
you're glimpsing at a reality that isn't possible. Now it
kind of is possible. So now it's not as special. Not to say that this wasn't an interesting read, but
it was fun. It was fun. It didn't capture the full enjoyment that I had in my youth, because it was so special and unique and out of nowhere. But it was a really solid read. It felt like I was coming home. These are all characters that I know and love,
that you're familiar with, the whole nine. It's kind of like, okay, you talk about dating myself. It's kind of like watching Animal House and thinking that that's all risque after watching American Pie. Yeah. Like the things that made Animal House like, ooh, I'm watching Animal House. After you watch American Pie, you're like, that, nah, the horse died. Like, okay. Like this. That's it. So this is a very interesting sort of time capsule story piece. I hope we have more coming. Do we have a...
Yes, supposedly it's an ongoing. So, like, I think we final order cut off issue 11 this weekend.
Wow.
Next weekend. So, yeah, I mean, in theory.
If we get 2 Battle Chasers in a year, I'll dance like it's 1999 again. Because it will be, okay? Yeah. We haven't had 2 issues of Battle Chasers since, okay? I think I was in high school. I don't even know it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Is that pre-Matrix? It might be pre-Matrix before we had 2 issues of Battle Chasers in the same year. Yeah. So good luck, Joe, man. I hope that you are well enough ahead that you guys are working on issue 20 right now, because that would make me so very happy. Mm-hmm. Just go ahead and double your output. Low-key, I feel like they should do like Mark Miller did, and every 2 weeks there should be a Battle Chasers. You owe us that. Like, no joke.
Just to get caught up.
Just to get caught up, you owe us. Every 2 weeks there should be a Battle Chasers. Mm-hmm. I'm just throwing it out there. I said what I said.
I wonder how many artists are out there that grew up reading Battle Chasers and now would be like, I'll draw. Like, could Joe reach out and get, like...
A bunch. Yeah. Oh, my God. Wait, so literally doing like Mark Miller did by having different artists do different issues?
Like Art Germ come in and do an issue. Although I don't know if Art Germ... Because Art Germ does most of the covers now.
Sure, but, I mean, if Joe Mad asked you to do it, would you not?
Like Derek Chu doing an issue?
Come on. Like, for old time's sake, I would do it.
And that would bring it back also that... Not that, this artist, you did an amazing job.
Yeah, Ludo, big shout out.
But, like, taking that branch out, like Momoko, like, artists that really are kind of unique right now.
Yeah.
Bring them in.
And then you capture the spirit of what made Battle Chasers amazing at the time. Yeah. And then you're utilizing. You make good points, sir.
It'd be interesting.
You make good points.
Be interesting.
Just throwing it out there. You make good points. Yeah. There's your commentary for Battle Chasers 10. Where do you want to go next?
Talk to me about TMNT ongoing number 140.
Okay, so I had to pick this up because my man Gavin Smith is making his debut on this one.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. Gavin, let me know if this is your debut. I thought it was your debut. Definitely on the cover, and he does the interiors, so I'm super excited. Nice. Especially because he called it. Like, he was like, I want turtles. And within like 2 years, he got it. And so...
That's manifesting.
It's, super manifestation, so he gets my love for that. The reason why it's in the Goodreads for me, it has nothing to do with the art. The art is fabulous. I will tell you this. Gavin's style is very storytelling driven, right? So it's not about bombastic angles and craziness like that. He's telling a solid story. The reason why it's here is because I haven't been reading this series. Yeah. And so there's so much that's happening. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. It was fun to read, but I don't... What?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of characters that you don't know.
Nothing. There's like Mutant Town, and there's a mayor, and I was like, wait, what? I'm overwhelmed. Yeah. I don't know. But there's a lot going on. Yeah. It's fun. The turtles, the energy of the turtles is there. What they do that I thought was very interesting, and I took note of it because I'm weird. It's almost as though they built this for people that are just jumping on for this issue, because they kept repeating characters' names, which isn't a natural way to speak, but it's making sure that you know exactly who they're talking to. And it would be like, one panel would be like, Mona, do this. And then the other panel would be like, da-da-da, Mona. And you're like, why would you say that? But it lets me know who Mona is. And so I'm like...
It's a teaching.
Yeah. Like, I noticed it, but it wasn't a bad thing. Because I'm like, I needed that because I haven't been reading
I have
this,
no idea who the person with the Ziggy Stardust
is. Like, it's crazy. So, very fun, really good. Like I said, the only reason why I put it over here as opposed to the must-reads is because I'm so brand new to what's going on here. I had no understanding of the general context. But it was interesting. Very, very interesting. Love the fifth turtle. And I think we are getting a special new figure that is maybe familiar to old-time turtle friends. Yeah. So, yeah. Up here, I'll show you.
Yeah. Because I like the turtles.
I think, where are you? I think that is...
Oh, wow, yeah.
Something in particular.
I think you might be right.
Yeah. Just throwing it out there.
From Image Comics, Klik, Klik, Boom. Wagner, Dabbs, Wilson, Dukeshire are the creators on it. Colors are amazing. They're like,
wow, those are gorgeous.
Yeah, they're like vibrant, like 1980s.
Great color holds.
Pinks. Yeah, no, it's the book is gorgeous. The art style is sketchy, like in a Stray Bullets kind of way.
Yeah.
And it fits the story really, really well. All right, so the main character, Elton John.
Yeah.
That's
a joke.
It's a joke. It'll make sense when you read it, though. She is unable to speak.
Okay.
And she is a person whose professionalities and specialties involve violence.
Oh.
And
I see that on the cover.
Yeah. And one of her things is she likes taking notes and trying to communicate with people using Polaroid photos because they're instant. And the whole story is about her, and she's either trying to rob someone or gain information from something to get what I think is vengeance. Like, that's the beauty of the story is, all right, so she goes a bank type place.
Yeah.
Gunfire happens. There's a reporter that's trying to follow the story because this stuff has been happening, and the only clues that are left behind are these Polaroids.
Wow.
Because who takes a Polaroid middle
of a crime? Like what?
And this reporter ends up finding out who it is and getting kind of like in their web because there's a lot of collateral damage.
Yeah.
When you live your life like this main character does.
Makes sense. And
this reporter is now part of that collateral damage. And she's trying to figure out what's going on.
Wow.
Because she's trying to write the story of the century. Like, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
I want to be an investigative journalist. This person has a clear-cut vengeance that they're trying to execute. It's really, really good. It's amazing. It's only the first issue.
That's brilliant.
So it's...
Okay, wait. So who did the art for this?
It is...
Doug Dabbs.
Doug Dabbs.
Okay. So we were having a conversation off camera about the process of making comics. And looking at that, you took immediate note that the colors were vibrant and beautiful. Let me ask you this. When it comes to the line work, do you feel like that is customary of what American comics could look like? And does it work well to tell the story?
Oh, I think it depends on the story.
Okay.
I think the different line work, the different inking, the tones, really... If you've got the wrong artist on the wrong story, it will take away from it.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. The reason why I was asking is because when you got to this place here, the actual level of line work is actually really sparse.
Yeah.
But it still works based on the angles and the design. Yeah. And so what we were talking about was the idea of artists. If you are in the comic business and you're trying to break in at the very least, one of the things that I would recommend is to work on what you're including in your art, because that's the part that takes time, right? And truth be told, that's how you ultimately create a value for yourself. You get paid by the page, not by how long you spend on it. So if you can tell the story faster by nailing like sparser like line work, but it still hits all the beats of the story, that's how you do it. So if you haven't picked up this book, you should pick up this book and study it, because I think the design of it is so on point for...
Yeah, and it tells, like, because this is a different part of the story, in a different place with different characters. Yeah.
That's genius. So from a creator's perspective, I highly recommend Klik, Boom, because, wow, that does exactly what we were talking about. So, yeah. Last on the good reads you should read, DC Dawn, Green Lantern. So we've got Adams, Armonico, Ferrado Jr. Okay, so for this, the reason for me putting it in this space is because we're kind of getting regular Hal Jordan-ness, right? So it's not that, it's not good. It's just very familiar, and I think that's the point.
Yeah.
But for me, I wanted, something a little bit more dynamic for the must-reads, rather than setting the stage in a way that's kind of like, we're getting back in the flow. As an issue 2, it's a wonderful read.
Yeah.
I love the backup features.
The backup story is really, really, really good. Here's the other thing. There is the final page of this issue leads directly into DC's big event that is going to be taking place.
Is that how that's going to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is me, a retailer, communicating to you, the reader. Talk to your local shop, because final order numbers are going in for Night Terror stuff. We don't know what to order. Like, if you don't tell us, is it going to be Convergence? Is it going to be something else? So please, when you're done reading this, you're like, oh, holy crap, that last page. If you're in for it, please communicate that to your local comic shop to make sure that they order it for you.
I'm curious about this, though.
It feels...
There's a long time for that. Like...
Yeah, DC's not publishing anything but Night Terror stuff in those 2 months.
Wow, so that's a real... Okay,
July and August
all right.
is just Night Terrors.
Okay, got you. Because I saw that and I was like, why are we skipping? Like, it's June. Why are we not getting another one until September?
Yeah.
But that's why.
That's
okay,
why.
so company-wide, that's the focus. Yeah. Respect. Absolute respect. I do dig, what Adams is bringing to comics in general, off of the, 1 Minute Word Flash, like, dopeness. Yes. So I appreciate that what he's doing is taking the time to build up, the classic Hal setup. Yeah. And then I really want to see how he's going to just shake it all up, because I'm sure that's coming. But right now,
you can't shake anything up if there's no status quo.
And that's kind of the thing. Like, he's establishing the status quo. What do you think, like, when Kilowog said that thing tastes like that thing, did you feel like that was a compliment or no?
I felt no.
Okay.
And then I looked at myself. I gave myself really, like, oh, man, I'm letting Kilowog down. It'll make sense when you read it.
Yeah, once you read it, like, you'll see. But when I read it, I was like, oh, is that a good thing?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's a...
Like, I read it as bad.
I read it as bad, too, but I was like, maybe that's
high-end, top-notch.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. When we come back, we will have the must-reads, the things that you cannot go home without from the comic shop this week. So we'll see you in just a second. We're back, and I'm still Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
I'm Ryan Seymour. All my best material is off camera.
Just
this
done.
week.
Just what? We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so we're back for the must-reads. These are the books that literally, this is why you're going to the comic shop. You want these. Add these to your collection, your repile, right now. Right now. What do we got? We got two of those same?
Yeah, two are the same, then we got the different ones.
Yes. Where do you want to start?
Let me kick it off with Sins of the Salton Sea.
Let's go.
From AWA, Ed Burst and CP Smith are the two creators on this.
Shout out to Ed.
So, what sucks is this came out through Diamond Comics last week.
Okay.
It arrives from Lunar this week. So if you've already read this and you're like, what are you doing? That's what's going on. And if your store hasn't got it yet, and you thought they were supposed to get it yet, they're getting it this week through Lunar.
There you go.
This is good. All right. It is two brothers who are criminals. They're like your high-end thieves, your very specialized thieves, like Ocean's 11 type people. Something went wrong in one of their last attempts at robbing something, and one of the brothers is just kind of laying low. He doesn't want to have anything to do with that life anymore. But his brother's got one last job. Like, if we do this one last job, we'll be good. We can retire. We'll split like $50 million. This is a no-brainer. This is a 5-person job, whatever. All of that crap. And it sucks the brother back in. They try to do the job. The job goes horribly, horribly wrong. And instead of the high-end stuff they're supposed to get, there's something else waiting for them. And it...
Oh, no. That's not what we planned.
Right? Plans are toast. They're now into a completely different ballgame that they're neither prepared for or even realized was a possibility.
Yeah, that's not what you want. That's not what you want. What I love, art-wise, the xenography of it, where it looks like some of it is like Xerox.
Yeah.
Super dope. Yeah. That was me all the way back in time to Brian Michael Bendis with his Jinx and
Yeah.
Firefly
Oh my gosh,
or Fire and Goldfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are. I still love those books.
Yeah.
I can't.
Classic crime stories.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, I took on Superman Lost number 4. Now, here's my truth about this one. I didn't really follow this one as well, but there are moments within this that are so powerful that I think that what ultimately is being revealed by the time you get to this 4th issue, Christopher Priest, who is one of the greatest writers of comics, like not of a certain generation, comics, period. And Carlos is a fantastic storyteller, but you're getting into a space now where this story is so big, it is going to be crushed under the weight of individual releases. This is a story that when it's captured as a trade paperback will be one of the greatest stories of all time, without question.
Straight through.
Yeah. It's 10 issues long and we're not even halfway there yet. So the range of what we're talking about and the way that they're expressing Superman's abilities and the thought process behind him is astronomical. I mean, we get told in here that Superman can hold his breath for days.
Yeah.
Like, we've never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even in terms of like, oh, well, he can hold his breath for a long time. What's that mean?
Yeah.
Days. So, like, we saw it previously where he wasn't breathing, right? And Lois will wake up like, hey, you're doing it again. And he's like, oh, sorry. Because this was like such a traumatic event for him. He still got PTSD. Like, that's such a huge story. 4 issues. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's almost too big. But we're getting to a space now where, again, the adventure level of Superman is going into complex places where, you know, he's facing off against a certain situation where he's pulling things from other issues that we've already experienced, but when it's all coming together, you go, now how does he deal with that?
Yeah.
What is the perspective here? What is the right? What is the wrong? And does he have the right to say in that regard? This is why this is such a great series, because Christopher Priest is actively giving us the dark Superman that I think like Zack Snyder wanted to give us, but wasn't quite able to build with just the limited showcase of cinema that we got.
Yeah.
This is that. So if you want that, read this. Yeah. You should be reading it anyway, but read it for that.
Yeah, it's one that by the time it's done, it's going to be spoken of in the same breath as Red Sun and All-Star Superman.
Yes.
Like, this is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
This is Christopher Priest up at the level that he was at, we'll say, when he did Black Panther, the Client, which I use as a sloppy segue into this Black Panther that is not Christopher Priest.
This Black Panther is written by Eve Ewing and art by Chris Allen. We've got Jung and Albertov rounding it all out.
I absolutely love the art. Like,
it is really good.
That was one of the things
it
that
is really, really good.
in.
And it's funny, too, because I love the art because it is almost a counter to what we've been having in conversation. It is a very full drawn page.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot that's gone into this. And I think part of it is because the story itself that Eve is doing is so nuanced and has to be brand new.
Yeah.
So you got to put forth like all your best efforts to capture the audience because you're getting a Black Panther that you've never actually seen before.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in terms of like, oh, it's a secret Black Panther. No, the context of this is brand new.
Yeah. And imagine that, dude. Like, based on everything that's going on in the story.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like,
I low-key want to be that dude. Like, he's kind of awesome. I see many cosplays, hopefully, as him coming up. But yeah, like, can you imagine that interaction? It's kind of amazing. The one complaint that I have, and this is kind of been true since Ta-Nehisi Coates was writing Black Panther, is that whenever we get something Black Panther oriented that is focused on Wakanda, there's always this inner turmoil within Wakanda that doesn't exist when you read Black Panther in other books. So like in the Avengers, when Black Panther shows up, Wakanda is still this utopia. It's amazing. It's technologically advanced. But whenever we get a Black Panther series, it's always like, hey, there's threats to the throne all the time. And I don't like that. Like, why do we gotta...
It's because he is the beating heart of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Black Panther is. And when you try to deconstruct it like that as like an ongoing, like, this is that's not Wakanda.
That's not Wakanda. And that always hurts me. And I don't think that this is necessarily Eve's doing. I think this is more of an editorial what is that? Edit? Yes, we'll go with that. But it just kind of gets me because I'm like, why do we always gotta destroy Wakanda from within and make it seem like the people aren't happy? When no, they should be living their best lives. Yeah. They're Wakandans.
That's a weird one for me because every time I'm reading the old school Black Panther stuff, that was always a thing. Like, holy crap, this is a nation that cares about itself, cares about its people, takes the steps to try to raise everybody up to the highest level possible
all the time. So
there's got to be idiots every now and again.
Sure.
This consistent, like, the throne could fall.
It's always man-ape, okay? It's always man-ape. Whenever there's a problem, it's always it's just blame man-ape. Yeah. That's what happens because he's just, wouldn't be in charge. Like, no. He's like, okay, fine.
Dang it, man-ape.
Stupid. But no, that's just like my only contextual but still the way that this is approached, solid.
Yeah.
Very, very solid. Very fun. Okay, book of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope you, our loyal, foolish fans, have dodged the spoilers for Void Rivals.
Stay off the interwebs. Yeah. Except watching us. Like, we want you to watch us because we don't spoil. Mm-hmm. Void Rivals. Okay, Robert Kirkman, Lorenzo De Felici, and Matthias Lupe. Or Lopez, maybe?
Mm-hmm. You're pretty close to the same creative team that did Oblivion. So.
Yeah. Which is mad dope.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never watched Enemy Mine, that is the closest spoiler that I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
I think it holds, it fits. I'm going to tell you right now, maybe a slight spoiler. Handroid, smartest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm so jealous that I didn't come up with something called Handroid. I am sick because I was like, Handroid. That's genius.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Yeah, it's like a tricorder for trackies out there.
So smart. So smart. This is great because as an issue 1, and again, Kirkman with the pen, his characterizations are on point. Mm-hmm. Dialogue is great.
Yes.
But the thing that I love the most is that he builds a world very quickly. That you get, like, you understand it. You're there.
It's two groups of people that apparently hate the heck out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got these complex rules and rituals and taboos, and they're at war with each other.
Yep.
And then they're forced to interact in a way that, violence isn't the answer.
It's not the best way. It's not the best way. So figuring out where they're going to go and how they're going to do whatever they need to do to survive is going to be the thing.
Yeah.
And this was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Combination of hard sci-fi, mix in some survival because they're trapped on a planetoid.
Yep.
That you'll read more about.
Mm-hmm.
And that end.
Oh,
because I was like, how are they going to tie this together?
Yeah.
How are they going to separate this from Enemy Mine in terms of the story?
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And what I love is that there could be a commentary on this, like, of actual humanity and life. And maybe we should consider that these are the ways that we should look at things. Look for the similarities, not the differences. Yeah. Just throwing it out there. Just thought. On other things, if you haven't seen the new Transformers movie, go for it. But it won't be as good as what Ryan pitched off camera. Ryan, you want to throw that out there?
All right. So
come on,
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Has Transformers, and he's done other movies.
Yeah.
And he's got this potential universe if you were to merge them together. Transformers meets Bad Boys.
I know there's a writer's strike right now, but I'm going to try to figure that out so I can write that, because I would watch that movie all the time. Come on.
Yeah.
Michael Bay verse. Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
What'd you say, with Bumblebee?
Yeah, Bumblebee. Mike Lowry gets stuck with a GoBot. If you don't know what a GoBot is.
I didn't mean to laugh like that.
Then you had parents that cared about you.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Oh my God. Obviously, we hope that you like that idea. Comment below how excited you would be to watch that. And obviously, we want you to like this episode. So click that thumbs up. Let us know. Share it with people. Tag us into it. And of course,
subscribe.
Yeah.
Because we do this every week.
Yes. Mm-hmm. There might be an upcoming flub week. the week of San Diego. Just gonna warn you about that. It's big stuff. But we will figure out something, some way, somehow that we can do this with you anyway, because we're here for you. So definitely keep watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Go bots.